Hello, good morning. Welcome to my page. This is Save for Rainy Days. We're having a little look today about how to do home decor on a budget. Now, I was having a bit of a chat with Tally, and actually there's so much to cover, but she has been redoing and upcycling her entire kitchen. So what we thought might be a really nice idea is to have a look and sort of look at how she has been doing her kitchen, and I think that would be like a really good start, so we can have a little look at how she's done her kitchen, how she got started, how she kick-started, what she's done to it. Hello.
Good morning, Vicky.
How are you?
Very good. Good morning, everyone. Very good, thank you. Good.
Excellent stuff. Now, I was just saying, we had a bit of a chat, and actually there is so much to cover, that we thought might be a really nice idea is to look at how you have done your kitchen. So you've had a look at all the home decor that you can do for your kitchen, and you've actually put some videos up. So we're going to talk through it kind of step by step, how you started, what you've done to finalize it. And actually you've got some videos that people can have a look at if they need a bit of a visual. So I'm more of a visual learner. That's a really good thing for me. So that'd be a good way to sort of show it as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yes, thank you. Yeah, so I decided I've had a problem with our kitchen since we've lived here, basically. Not in a bad way, you know, very thankful and got it and everything, but I've changed the walls a few times, but it was actually the cupboards that were the problem. And they've been in here, maybe bought in the 90s, Formica, and silver handles, which were very smart, very tidy, you know, usable. But yeah. I am such a peacock and a magpie. I was like, I need more colour. This is what's going on. So what I did initially is, you know, try and rev up the walls and make them bright yellow and aquamarine. I've changed the colours twice. And then I've got some, you know, what's it, MDF, and it's kind of what you use for... God, my brain's gone dead. I need a coffee. That's what it is. What you put in radiators, so that it's kind of like an MDF. It's been cut and it's been laser printed, sort of laser cut, I should say, MDF. And I put those in the sort of square boxes to liven it up. I made it white. So again, a white wall. I was trying to mix everything up. I did that. So that's not enough. So I decided to go, right, I'm going to change the colour of the cupboards. And how do you go by that? Because Formica or laminate is very greasy. It's very, you know, it's meant to take on the grease in the kitchen. You get laminate floors, you get all of those things. So what you have to do is you have to soap it down, sort of clean it. I use this soap spray, I think is another word of calling it. I cleaned all the soap, then I sanded it down. And then you've got to prep your cupboards. Now, before you've even done any of that, I decided to take the cupboards off, which is always really scary, because putting any kitchen cupboard up, anyone will know this, don't touch the cupboards because the angles, can you get in the screw? But my attitude was, if they got up there, they can come back off.
Certainly.
So it takes a little bit tricky. You need a hand. You can't do it by yourself, otherwise you will probably, you know, pull a muscle in your arm or something.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. So yes, so basically I realized that I could take some of the doors off. So I took most of the doors off. There was only one door that was stuck to the dishwasher.
Right.
Now the color that I wanted, now this is a thing to remember, where is the color going? Because paint changes very radically in a room. So our kitchen is in the darkest part of the house. So therefore it's the lighting, you know, what lighting we've got in the ceiling, all of those things. And so I was very aware of that, and also choosing a color that would really make the cupboards pop against the walls. So, you know, if you've got sort of a color, sort of laminated, you know, cupboards, Formica, say, it's quite, you know, you don't want any really light pastel colors. You need something quite strong, in my opinion, so it really pops if you want to keep it. But I was going to change them. So I had this lovely Mediterranean blue spray that was spraying my furniture, which is really cheap, £6 a tin. You know, again, clean the chair, spray it, and I did them 2 coats, left them for 48 hours on both times, and they're done beautiful. And they've got a lovely sheen about them, so you don't then have to do a varnish or anything like that. So I was like, I really like that color, but the color I wanted for paint, they couldn't do. So I went to a B&Q. I said, I'd like this color. They said, it's too shiny. We need it matte. So there was no way for me to do that. So that's why I took my cupboards off. But what they did do, and it's called Vasper paint, is they did a closer copy. So you can get a tester. The testers are bigger. So they're about £4.95. So usually I'm working in testers 50p in a pound, because that's how I like to work. Cheap, cheap, cheap.
Why not?
But when you're doing a kitchen, you know, kitchens cost about £8,000 if you want to redo them. You've got new cupboards, you want something really gorgeous. We're talking like that. And I would never spend £8,000 on my kitchen.
No would I.
I just couldn't do it. It's not in me to do. I'm like, no, I need to do it my own way. So that's what I did basically. I got some paint. So that paint then was used for the cupboards and was used for the walls. So I doubled up on my money.
So you started off by looking at your kitchen and going, this is fine, it's functional, but it's not what I want. So then you decided what you wanted to do. So
yes.
that's always quite good, I think. Decide first, have a bit of a plan about
yes.
what you want. That may evolve, that may change.
Yes.
But actually having a plan to start with is a really good start. You wanted it, you added features to it, but then decided the colour is not right, the colour is not what I want. So then found your colour. And sometimes, like you say, you have to go a bit above and beyond to get exactly what you want. So you found a company that would do a colour match for you, which is good. And then you found the right paints and the right way of doing it. Because like you say, when it's got a shiny finish, you can't just use wood paint. It glides right off. Either that or you need about 100 coats, which is not fun. So you found the right paint, the right style of paint and the right colour and got yourself going.
Yeah, so for example, I basically cleaned it, then I sanded it down. Obviously, they were taken off these cupboards. Then I did 2 primers, and it's a special kind of primer. It's not any primer you can get for laminated or Formica. Formica is another word for laminated. It's just a different thing, but it's the same family, if you know what I mean. But you need a really good primer that's really going to be matte, and you can buy this again from any good sort of like store that does paint basically, but it needs to be for that. You can't just use any primer that you would use for hobbies or for a chair. It needs to be for that. So that cost about sort of £20.
Is that labelled, like when you to know what you're
yes, you do. So you need to make sure that it is, you know, obviously it's difficult to know which kind of laminated, but if you go into any good store, so I've got this, they'll say, well, this will do it, you know, this will do it. So basically the paint, I got a smaller pot of paint because I knew the colour match wasn't the same match as I had in the spray. So I was going to spray the cupboards that I could take off, but the ones that had to remain, I had to use the paint, and it was darker. So it just so happens that where those cupboards are that I couldn't take off, they're in the darker part of the kitchen. So my thinking was, because they're darker, no one would know the difference, that it would be the same. So that's what I did. I took all the cupboards off, cleaned them, did the primer, sprayed them. And also what I did, I went the handles. I can't bear these handles. I need to change them. And I wanted a more warmer colour, so I got gold ones. I bought these on Etsy. They were pricey. They were the most expensive thing to the kitchen. More expensive than paint. They were £70 to get 11 handles.
Right.
Now, you go, oh my God, 11, it's, you know, that's a lot of money. It is, but these handles are going to last me. They're brass, so they're never going to tarnish. They need to clean them, but that's it. Yeah. And they're bamboo shaped, so they look really other against this kind of Mediterranean blue. And all of that has cost me about £150.
Which is quite a substantial difference to the potential £8,000 for a brand new kitchen.
Yes, of course, you know, I had some things around, you know, I had my frog tape, which I just adore. I had nice brushes. I've got a garden. I needed, you know, a dust cloth to spray them, a mask when I was spraying the paints, because obviously this is coming from a can. I needed 2 cans, so that was £16. Then the paint. So you're already gone over, you know, you're, you know, and I didn't try to go, I've got to do this for £150, but I went, right, what is it I want to do, and how much is this really going to cost me? Now, to get the finish I wanted in a you know, house and garden or living, etc., it would cost that money. But of course, they're new doors. These aren't new doors. They're the same old doors.
Yeah.
But outside, they're not. You know,
Yeah.
so it fundamentally, and I've changed the color of the walls, so paint I already had, and then I use the paint on the covers on the walls. So that's how I managed to keep the budget down.
Yeah, I do a lot of DIY actually in my home, and I found once you sort of, you need to build up like a basic kit, don't you? Things like frog tape, really nice brushes. You need white spirit to get sort of gloss paint off, to get a good roller, like all those sorts of things. But once you've got them, if you look after them and clean them all up every time you use them, they'll last you. So you've got that basic, so then you're just topping up.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's what, I mean, I've managed over the years to you know, kind of got, you know, we're lucky we've got a shed, and there's all the samples of paint that I have, that, you know, might come in handy for something else, or to help someone else if someone else needs some paint. So yeah, I managed to do that. Yeah, it was tricky. It took a couple of days, but the effect is amazing. And I'm just on my Instagram, I'm just sort of halfway of showing where I'm getting to, and I haven't got, you know, and I changed the rug in there, what I already had. I changed some pictures. Change the clock. You know, this was just changing things around and the palette that I wanted. And I'm really, really, really pleased. And it just takes a little bit of know-how and time. Yeah. And you can do it. Obviously, if you've got a working kitchen and you're busy and family, but it's like doing little projects, doing them small. And a kitchen is no mean feat, because, you know, like a bathroom, it's our main areas where we all come together, we eat, we cook, we come out. They're used more than probably any other room, you know. Yeah. So time was of the essence as well.
Yeah, I'm sure. But like you say, I think checking what your budget is and being realistic about what you can achieve with that budget. Yeah. I think knowing exactly what you want to do before you even start, so you don't waste money doing one thing and actually deciding it's not what you want. Yeah. And I think YouTube for videos of how to are incredible. I've changed shower temperatures just by watching a YouTube video.
YouTube is fantastic. I mean, obviously there are, like in any work of, you know, any job of life, you know, people who talk, anyone could go on YouTube and put their thing. So, you know, sometimes it takes time finding the right thing that really sort of sits well with you, but it's fantastic. And Pinterest, you know, suddenly you've got this wild, crazy idea that you want a pink lounge, you know. Yeah. You can put that into Pinterest, and there'll be different shades of pink. You know, is it a wall, or you want a dining room that's for my dear friend, my Bezies, she's wants to do her house, and I'm guiding and helping, and she's asking for advice, and I'm doing that, and I'm going, right, it's got to be what shade looks good when the color of the light changes in the room. Let's have maybe change the fabric on the chairs. Yeah. You know, what furniture have you got in there? You know, it's Pinterest is great. And she's not sure. I go through Pinterest and I send her loads of photographs. You could do this, you could do this, you could do this, you could mix this. So it just gets the little grey cells moving in a direction. Yeah. I hadn't thought about that. Yeah. Especially realising what you have.
Seeing a visual as well is always really good, I think. When you've got it in your mind but can't quite make it sit on paper, I think seeing it, so Pinterest is really good for things like that, for having a visual before you begin. Absolutely. But I think having a real realistic view of what you are able to do as a person. Start small if you've never done it before. Yeah. Like all in my kitchen, all I did was clean it up for the cupboards and change the handles, and it made a massive difference. And that's super easy.
Absolutely. And you know, you just got to, you know, again, I love frog tape, you know, you put that around your cupboards, you paint the wall, change the handles. I mean, you know, you can do it really, really cheaply and really effectively. And it's a great way to save money. And also make something your own. Yeah. You know, if you do this, if you decide to change your cupboards like jade green, for example, not many people have that, and you put some lovely sort of brass handles on that. That's really going to pop against the white wall. You know, that's going to look really fresh, especially if you like that. And then you change the color. You know, we've talked about upcycling furniture, and then you start doing stuff like that. You really start to your own way of living and your own palette and your own design. It makes it unique, and no one else will have that. And I think that makes it really charming, and it really shows how you live and what you do and what you like, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Having a bespoke place is perfect. Yeah, and your own touch because you've done it.
Exactly. It can be done so cheap, but again, it takes a bit of time. So think about what room you want to change. What is it you want to do? Really, why are you changing it? Will it match the rest of the house? This is what I always think. I like to coordinate so that it's not, oh my God, that's really sticking out if it's a big room. What your budget is, and then look at, you know, Pinterest. You know, speak to some friends, what they've done, ask for some advice as well, you know, and then test those things around and test the paint in the room if that works as well.
Yeah, and I would say don't be discouraged by the prep work, because the prep work takes so much time, but there is zero reward for it until you start putting colours on and painting. But the prep work is so important to make that finish look perfect.
Absolutely. I always say throughout my life, over prepare and go with the flow. If you if you over prepare for an interview, if you over prepare for going out, if you over prepare your kitchen, what you're doing, you won't get you know, you won't sort of get, oh my God, I'm doing this wrong, or it's not going to be right, or you know, you sort of take yourself off your natural way you're going. It will really, if you over prepare, if you do your research, you'll feel confident that you can do it as well.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I think we've only covered a small amount of how to do your home, but we will have a look, I think, next week, maybe about different colours that work together, different tones of rooms, and then we'll have a look at how to be thrifty with all your accessories, because accessories, you could do nothing to the walls and the floor and the furniture, but little accessories will make all the difference. And I know you are quite the queen of the charity shops, and now they're starting to open back out again.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I love a charity shop. I love a flea market. I love a dump. That should be on my headstone when I go. No, I really love other people's junk or rubbish or whatever. I think nothing should be wasted, and everything has a story. And like you say, Vicky, next week we can talk about palettes, and then also, you know, if you're just want to do be neutral, and if you want to lift that, and if you really want to lift that, and if you want to, you know, the stages of really making something kind of quite sad, you know, quite gorgeous and your own and different. Yeah, for sure. Excellent. Well, we will certainly do that in the next coming weeks. Thank you very much for your time, Kelly. It's always a joy to talk to you on a Saturday morning. You too, lovely. You too. I love doing this. It's great fun. Yeah. Thank you for, you know, spreading the word about, you know, how to live your life for half the price, basically. Yeah, no, thank you. Yeah. No, I think if you can find a cheaper way to do it and make your money work for you, why wouldn't you do that? We will be back next week at 10:30 talking more home decor. But if you do want to check out Tally's videos, it is Style Shaker 24. I'm going to tag it on this video so you can go straight to her page and have a look at it visually, which is really good, about how she is doing her kitchen and those beautiful turquoise colours. But like I say, we'll be back next week at 10:30. But enjoy yourself. Have a fantastic week. Thank you very much for watching. Tally, as always, thank you very much. Thank you, Vicky. Thank you very much. I will see you and all of you hopefully next week. But have a good week. See you later. Bye, everyone. Bye. Bye.